You want to tell us where you're going?
Going to California.
Why? Why would you go to California? California is like California.
Yeah.
As you folks know, I coined that phrase a few months ago.
Yeah,
Kidding.
unfortunately.
Totally
Yeah, if it weren't, I'm not going for political reasons. I'm going for family. We got family out there on my dad's side. So we're going to down over near San Diego in the Escondido area.
Escondido?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I know exactly where Escondido is. It's down there in southern part of San Diego.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes from San Diego.
All right, very good.
You going to go do some swimming?
Oh, I would love to.
Listen, here's what I need you to do, though, is, and Ken, you're with me on this, right? So what I need you to do is take some razor wire and put it up at the border. Could you do that?
I'll be right around there, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of seal up the border.
Better have some razor wire to punch one of those sharks in the nose.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Hear about that, dude?
No, I didn't. What?
Yeah, a swimmer was bumped in the water. Then all of a sudden he was attacked by a shark. And he apparently punched the shark in the nose, which got it to leave him alone, but not until it nearly bit his arm off, took a chunk out of his side, part of his leg.
Wow.
He's going to survive, though.
That's good, at least. Oh, my gosh.
So take your razor with you out there in the ocean, Brother Mason, and give those sharks hell.
Do you know how deep of the water he was in?
Wasn't very deep, about 5 feet, something like that.
Oh, wow.
That is so crazy.
Plus, right now, the water apparently isn't very clear, so you can't necessarily see what you're in, but the shark can.
Shark sure can, man.
They can smell,
and you're
too.
out there and you're I remember Jaws, the underwater scenes, all the legs flapping around and stuff, and dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. I mean, a shark can attack you, I've heard, in as shallow as 2 feet of water.
Oh, yeah. They aren't afraid. It's you're stepping into their home, not the other way around.
All right, so this is what's funny. So earlier, just a scant few moments ago, I said that Mason was going to California, and then I said sarcastically, I coined that phrase a couple of months ago.
Now you're getting blowback?
Yeah, I said it sarcastically. Remember that day, Ken, when I was like, I said it by accident, and then I was like, that has to already be a thing. I couldn't have just accidentally coined that phrase. Do you know somebody actually sent me California stickers to my home?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's kind of funny, actually. Nobody ever sends me a check. It's always, but I appreciated the California stickers. They're actually still sitting right by my coffee pot. So thank you to that person.
Nice little reminder every morning.
All I get are bills at home.
Yeah.
Not the dollar kind.
Oh, trust me, I get those as well.
How about this woman in Nebraska? 74-year-old woman pronounced dead in hospice, found breathing at the funeral home.
Holy cow.
So she was... They thought she was dead, and she wasn't dead.
Yeah, the nursing home apparently pronounced her dead.
Okay.
The funeral home came and picked her up, and then while she was there at the funeral home, all of a sudden she started breathing. An employee noticed the woman was breathing and instantly called 911.
Who loses their
Funeral
job
home
in that
staff
situation?
then conducted CPR on the woman, identified by authorities as Constance Glantz of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Very unusual case, police said during the briefing. Been doing this 31 years. Nothing like this has ever gotten to this point before. Because this was a case where a death was anticipated. Since it was anticipated, she was in hospice. There was nothing suspicious about her supposed death, so the nursing home did not have to call 911. So they just figured she was dead, called the funeral home, came and picked her up. She started breathing on the table there at the funeral home.
Oh, my goodness gracious. So is she still alive now? Is she conscious?
They're not saying, but the sheriff's office is investigating. No criminal charges are pending.
Okay.
So nothing's pending, but they are investigating. I mean, what a horrible ordeal for that family. And that woman.
You remember Tom Petty when Tom Petty died?
Yes.
He died like twice.
Yes.
It was all reported that he died, and then it was like, no, he didn't die. He didn't die. And then like a day later, he's dead.
Right. I mean, hospice, it's bad enough for the family. And I don't mean that hospice is bad. I think hospice does great work.
They do.
But it's a horrible, it's emotionally wrenching for the family. And then for this to happen, good grief.
Do you know we had a very funny, kind of along those lines, Ken. We had a very funny moment in the Mandis house over the weekend. So I love this hospice nurse. She's on TikTok, and she's a hospice nurse, and she talks about the process of dying and the process of death, and how she herself has been through, all kinds of different scenarios, and they're very uplifting. Because to me, what hospice nurse Julie says on TikTok, oftentimes it matches with my spirituality, right? So she talks about, seeing maybe, sort of guardian angels looming above patients. One time she talked about how one of the patients who was terrified of death, and part of what she was trying to do was get this guy not to be terrified of death. She walked out. He was there. He was actively dying. She was on her way home. In her mind, suddenly, she heard the man's voice. And he was saying exuberantly in his voice, in her mind, Julie, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's incredible. She moments later received a text that this particular patient had just died.
Very interesting.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, it is turned into one of my favorite TikTok accounts. And again, if you want to check her out, it's Hospice Nurse Julie.
Hospice Nurse Julie. Yeah, hospice workers they would be very interesting people to talk to.
Oh yeah, she's got, all kinds of crazy stories. And it's interesting you bring this up, Ken, and then I promise you we're going to get away from dying. But they did an article on people's last words are often these 4 phrases.
Okay.
You ready? This is from CNBC.
All right.
Last 4 phrases are, I want to tell you that I love you.
Yeah.
I want to tell you that I forgive you. Would you tell me that you love me? Would you give me your forgiveness?
Wow.
Oftentimes, those are the last 4 phrases that people utter before they die.
That's according to hospice workers?
That is according to hospice workers. And they talk to, University of Pennsylvania did some sort of a study. So as Amy and I are talking about this over the weekend, I go back. This is where people are going to make fun of me. So knock yourselves out. I get into the bathtub. And I've got my suds and my salts. And I have the great idea to go back and watch the scene in ER where Mark Green dies.
Oh, no.
Amy walks into the bathroom and I am blubbering, crying because I'm reliving that scene where Mark Green dies in ER. And she's like, what the? She walks
What
in.
are you doing,
and I'm
man?
in the bathtub and I'm crying. Man, it's so sad, Mark. And I try to explain. It's just, oh, my God.
Oh.
Here's what I have to ask, though.
This is what not only my life is like, but Amy's as well.
All right, so you've decided you're going to go take a bath. You run the bath. You get your suds and your salts.
Yep.
And then it just dawns on you, I think I'll watch that scene in ER.
Yeah, because we were talking about...
Oh, yeah, we were talking about
Hospice Nurse Julie.
Okay.
And it turns out, because I was telling Amy, this is how funny, this is how simpatico we are. I said to Amy, I want to get this book. Because usually my books revolve around either sports or politics.
Right.
She's like, I said, I want to get this book. And it's a hospice nurse. And she's looking at me like... You want to get a book about a hospice nurse? And I said, yeah, I watch her on TikTok. And she's like, Hospice Nurse Julie. And I said, yes.
So she Amy
knows
follows her too.
Hospice Nurse Julie too. She's been watching her for a while now. So I want to get that book by Hospice Nurse Julie.
Sometimes you got to be careful whenever you type in nurse whoever on social media because
oh, really?
They're not hospice nurses.
You have a thing about nurses, Ken?
They end up being half-naked nurses.
Well,
but I don't think that Hospice Nurse Julie fits that category.
Sadly, no. Hey, so anyway, moving on. Hey, this is kind of a cool text we got. You ready?
All right.
This is from 7865. Good morning, Dan. My name is Caitlin. Yesterday was my 21st birthday. She says, I love listening to you guys and your show and have been doing so with my father for just shy of 3 years now. So she is now at 21. She is now legally allowed to listen to the show.
Happy birthday, Caitlin.
Happy birthday, Caitlin, and say hello to your dad for us.
Yeah, 21 years old. I remember being 21. Nothing hurt.
Oh, I had a lot of hurts at 21. I had a lot of hurts. I had a lot of heartbreak.
Well, I'm
traffic
talking
accidents.
about physical hurts, man.
Oh, that?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm talking about, just being able to do things like reach for a coffee cup without,
Yes.
pulling a muscle in your back.
Mason, see what you have to look forward to?
I'm so ready for it. Yeah, let's go.
Listen, here's the thing. My great piece of advice I could give to Mason, start the bubble baths early in life. Because I just started about 5 years ago. Changed my life.
What are the salts? What are salts?
Like Epsom salts and stuff?
Yeah. What is that?
Dr. Teal's.
What does it do?
I don't really, to be honest, know. It gives it supposedly they're therapeutic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So they're therapeutic.
Give you soft skin?
Yeah, sure. Soft skin.
All right.
And they're therapeutic. They got a nice scent to them. And then I have the sudsy thing too. So, And I watch videos of, TV characters dying and I start crying.
Of sad scenes in sitcoms.
I don't know what got over me or why I had to watch that scene like right now.
Man, that's
I don't know
torturous.
why it was just so weird. But
Yeah.
we're talking about death
Yeah.
and, and
It was part of the theme.
it was part of the theme of my Saturday, I think it was Saturday or Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, the way I find that interesting is I first thought that came up on your TikTok feed as you were getting into the tub, just scrolling through TikTok, and it popped up, and then
No.
it just was like perfect timing. But the fact that you sought it out is
I did. I
think,
sought
even
it
better.
out. Listen, a man who is in touch with his masculinity and can admit taking a bubble bath is that a good thing?
What?
And then admits it on the radio?
What
It is Dan Mandis.
What do
True
the
fashion.
bubbles do? I mean, are you playing in the bubbles or are you just,
That's none of your business,
Blowing
Ken.
bubbles just across the room.
you crack me up, man. I love it.
You know what? I'm not exactly sure what the bubbles do, actually.
I'm bringing you back a rubber duck from California.
They're just there.
I'm on a cloud. I'm light as a feather.
Mason, you got it. You know what?
I was
Can
going to say,
tell you-
that's what the Epsom salts do. They get you slightly bit
I
high,
was
so
getting
that way
ready
that
to
the
say,
clouds.
Listen, here's the deal,
around
though.
you.
Here's the deal, though. I also this weekend used a chainsaw.
Oh, way to go, Brother Dan.
So you know what? Yes, a man can adequately operate a chainsaw
Way to go, Brother Dan.
and also
Yeah.
take a bubble bath.
What'd you do with the chainsaw? What were you using it for?
I was
Try to kill a spider.
going after the damn cicadas.
Yeah.
I can't take them anymore. No.
You were like Leatherface, dancing and swinging it around.
I was I just we have a lot of stuff that needs to be cut back. So that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you pull the cord and start it, or did Amy?
No, I started it.
Way to go, Brother Dan
Man, what is
Mandis.
wrong with you? I'm not that bad.
I'm just joking with you, man.
She had to show me it first. Totally
This is
kidding.
the ripcord. And then,
Totally. Yeah.
That's way to go, Brother Dan Mandis.
Thank you. Very
was it
proud.
electric or gas, though?
Battery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you call that? Yep. We decided I couldn't handle cords because I kept mowing over the cord when I was mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I'm not the only guy that's ever done that, by the way. When I admitted that years ago.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
It does happen. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of the. Did we cover anything we actually wanted to cover?
I think we had fun.
We did have fun. We did have fun.
Talked about salts and bubble baths. Mm-hmm. And a poor 74-year-old woman who apparently was determined to have died in the nursing home only to come back alive on the funeral home table.
And from what I understand, she woke up and wanted a bubble bath. That's what probably could have happened. That's what's going to happen to me at 74 if I
possible.
wake up from the dead.